welcome to another edition of Urban Fight Back Martial Arts. Remember, it's never too late to fight back. Now, as you can see, today we're going to be going over gun disarms. This is a very popular weapon used on the street called a Glock. Now, I'm going to show you about 6 different techniques to use in a self-defense situation. So first, we're going to start with what not to do. When I first started the martial arts, I was watching all these martial artists do all these fancy techniques. I'm going to show you one of those fancy techniques, and I'm going to tell you why I don't believe those fancy techniques work. Because you have to understand the weapon before you can learn how to defend yourself. So no matter how good you kick, how good you punch, how much you can fly, if you don't understand that weapon, you won't be able to defend yourself against that weapon. So, first start, you see the yellow gun again. First move I learned that was fancy, that made me want to learn jiu-jitsu and martial arts and defense and all that, was how to defend myself with the fancy technique I learned. Watch this technique. I move my body to the side and I hammer fist the weapon. Watch again. I hammer fist the weapon. Couple of problems with that. His finger is still in the finger guard, in that guard, that trigger guard. That means that when I do this motion, the gun will fire. Also, you're going to have gunpowder that's going to fire. I don't want that stuff to fire in my eye. That's number one. Number two, I can have loved ones in the area. Maybe my girlfriend or my daughter or my loved one is there. And by doing this quick movement, instinctively, I don't know who's here. Innocent bystanders can get killed while I'm defending myself from the gun. So, guy holds the gun to me and I go, "Hey!" Looks good. But the reality is I don't have control, and the reality is that's a fake gun. A real gun is firing when I do that. And somebody can get hurt in the process. So the kind of techniques I show you, I want to have more control over what's going on with those techniques. So pointing to the head, first thing you want to get out of the range of the gun. So I'm going to dip my body. Now as I dip my body, I'm going to push it up. It may fire up, but I'm going to squat, push up, and lock. Again, up, and this area are the areas that I have to be aware of. Watch again. The criminal points the gun in my face. I duck and lock. There are other techniques I can get him. Hammer fist. I can gouge the eyes. There's other stuff I can get him to make him release the gun. Again, getting him to release again. His hand is in the trigger guard. As I turn, you don't want to turn the weapon this way. I wind up shooting my leg off. So as I turn the weapon outward, now I step back and I have the weapon. In your stomach, again, the same kind of matrix turn. I call it the matrix turn now. It's a kung fu turn. Turning and striking with your arm. Watch again. Turning and striking with your arm. Now, letting the top hand grab. So with forearm strike, here. There's a lot of people want to do all kinds of other fancy stuff, but meanwhile the gun is firing. The gun may fire, hit you in the leg. You want to be aware of this gun. So here, we're turning here. Good. And you can grab the gun again from the guard, twist. So here in the movement, here I step to the side. I put my hand by the trigger guard, and now I turn it. We call this return to sender. But once you return the sender with his hand in the trigger guard, the gun will fire. The person that is attacking you will be deceased. Early days of kung fu movies, remember? Or Matrix, in my chest. Just turning the shoulder. Simple. So now, here's how it applies in real life situation. Turning the shoulder and pushing out. Again, remember, you don't want to have loved ones over here because you'll kill them or shoot them. So here's to my chest, push out, watch, a good punch, good reverse punch to the temple. From there, turn the weapon, towards your opponent again. I like to turn it right into his chest. And that makes him, he can tap out, he's a martial artist, but right to his chest. Disarm the weapon and point the weapon at him. And at you, here, grabbing, twist. Here, now I like to do this, turn around and take the weapon. Again, I forearm in, I raise up, I grab the hand. I want to see, so you can see, I grab, where am I? The guard. The trigger guard. I still turn the trigger guard towards my man. I turn the trigger guard towards him. Now, if the cameraman was there and a friend of mine, I may turn the trigger guard down to the floor. And now look, right from there, from the butt, grab, point. Forearm up. Again, we're using our movement. Look. Watch my back. I just turn my body with simple movement. Turn my body. Now, some people like to turn the body, cuff under, and take the weapon in this particular fashion with the lock. That's kind of risky for me. I don't know if that's going to work for me, but, you know, more power to you. It's one of those techniques that I see a lot of people who do gun disarms. I don't like gun disarms like that. I like gun disarms where my hand can touch that weapon. So here, I turn here, striking, grabbing the weapon again. Grab the weapon again. Here, I strike the man. I can add a knee, a lot of other things, and turn it right back to him. Turn it right back to him. Push a little bit, he'll let go. Hold. Guy grabs me, I turn, punch. Good. Grab with two to the back of the head. Again, now I turn by accident. I really wanted to go this way to show you, but I'll show you this way. Turning this way, palming, keeping it on the outside. Again, here, palming. I'm moving out the way of that weapon. There's a lot of other things I can do. Now from the other side, blocking in, striking. Again, remember what I said. Turning it up, taking the weapon. Here, strike. Take them, hands up, on your knees. Now. Good. And he's a martial artist, but God will probably look at you. Don't look at me, hands down.